Maya's personality is a little bit goofy, with a little bit of free spirit. She's just caring, enthusiastic little girl.
She loves to dance. She's a fun little girl, full of energy, full of just life. Maya at first was complaining about a lot of leg pain. I thought it was growing pains. Then she started complaining a lot about being tired, not feeling good. We took her to the hospital, and that was the first time they mentioned the word leukemia. Our lives completely turned upside down. It really broke me down at the beginning because it took away that superpower as a parent that you're supposed to be a superhero for your kids.
When I got the news, like, the world just stopped. That's one of the hardest things that I had to endure in my life.
I signed up for Candlelighters, and we found out about the parking passes because, of course, we were going back and forth from the hospitals, and $19 a day doesn't sound like a lot when it's 1 day or 2 days, but when
it's a month and a half of staying there, and you're paying $200-300 just in parking. And that's when y'all come through it, and not just with parking passes, but throughout this whole journey. It's, hey, how are y'all guys doing? We know that y'all going through a lot. How can we help?
They make you feel better. Not just better, but you relate to somebody that's actually going through the same thing. It takes a burden off of one little thing, even if it's a parking pass. It's one less thing that I have to worry about when I already have the worry of, is my kid gonna beat this?
I just turned 12 in February that year. I was in school and having really bad headaches, and so my mom just assumed, oh, you need new contacts, new prescription, which makes sense. And we had an appointment scheduled with the eye doctor. He did a lot of checks and basically told me, I don't know what's wrong, but there is something wrong. He said, go immediately to Houston, to Texas Children's, and go to the emergency room there. That was the time that they used the words cancer and possible surgery. I remember just being really worried, and there was lots of crying and just not knowing. So I have an astrocytoma, and it had characteristics of being both malignant and benign. So because of that, they decided they wanted to remove it. Going into surgery, I do remember that. And then waking up about a week later because they really knock you out for brain surgery. During those weekly clinic visits, while you're on treatment, you go and have blood work. We'd gone into the Candlelighters office and met them, and I remember getting a stuffed animal from them that I really liked, and I know they helped my mom a lot with parking. Well, I had a friend in college whose mom used to work for Candlelighters. She told me they were working on this camp and asked if I'd be interested in helping. So I said yes, of course. Once I got to camp and experienced camp and saw what it was like, I was like, oh yeah, I want to do this every year. It's so good to see the kids in a fun setting, They have medical treatment problems that are going on, but like camp is a totally different world, and you can do anything at camp. And I like being there just to see that, but then also to show that like, hey, it's a rough road and there's a lot going on, but you can make it through and keep going. Just getting through and being able to see somebody that has made it through and is living life and married, has a job, that kind of thing, I feel like as a high schooler that would have helped me. And just to know that there's a group there that will help you, they'll help your whole family, they'll support you in whatever way you need, whether it is emotionally or financially. And if anything happens, they're never gonna stop helping you. When the survivor is grown, they'll still be there. The survivor passes away, they're still gonna be there. They're still gonna give you all that support. And that's super important because you never feel alone.
Everything was as perfect as it can be with twin 1.5-year-olds. It was early June. I was just kind of hanging out with Zach, and I noticed that 1 or 2 of his lymph nodes were kind of swollen, like it was like little pea-sized bumps on his neck. So we took him to the doctor, and the pediatrician was basically like, well, he has an infection somewhere. We get the x-rays, we do the blood work, and we get the diagnosis that it's T-cell leukemia.
Christine was in the hospital. At the house, I've got Liam now. So we had to figure that out the hard way.
Liam naturally took on kind of a caretaker persona. Every time I had to give Zach medicine, Liam would put his gloves on and hold his hand. We've said this the whole time. God knew we needed a twin brother. He knew that we needed Liam to help Zach get through this as well as he did. And I think he's the reason Zach was so strong through those 3.5 years. Candlelighters, they introduced us in the hospital. There was always someone there asking about the whole family. And they want to make sure that the whole family is taken care of and loved and seen. And it's pretty amazing because they always include Liam in everything that they do.
It gives us a chance to get together as a family, be amongst others who are like us or have gone through similar experiences. And that in itself is extremely important in the healing process.
Once he rang that bell, Candlelighters didn't stop talking to us. It wasn't ring the bell, okay, you're done with treatment, move on with your life, because your life shifts forever. We never go to Texas Children's and get a blood test without fear in the back of our minds. And some of the consultants, their kids have relapsed. They just understand. It changed our life forever. And so I'm hoping they're gonna be a part of our lives forever because we're gonna need them no matter where the journey takes us. We're very, very grateful for Candlelighters.
I have 5 beautiful boys, Aaron, Andy, Cohen, Eli, and Vinny. He loved weightlifting. He loved running track. So January 8th, he was literally on the floor crying hysterically. So we got to the emergency room, and the emergency room physician said, "We are 99% certain that Vinny has colon cancer." And I just was dumbfounded. He had a 6-centimeter adenocarcinoma tumor completely blocking his bowel. So he was 1% of 1 in a million. He's like, my body's different. I'm different. I'm gonna kick this. I'm gonna beat this. Even to the very end, he's like, I'm not gonna die. He was so very brave. He would not talk to me about the prospect of him dying. He said, nothing's gonna happen to me. But if it does, I have written my funeral plans in my phone, and here is my password. The night before Vinny died, the nurse came over and she woke me up. She said, Mama, it's time. And I jumped up and I could see that his heart rate was going down. And I leaned over and I said, Vinny, I love you. And he opened up his eyes and he tried to sit up, and then he just fell back and he had a smile on his face. People mean well, they get back busy with their own lives, but life goes on. But our life goes on without Vinny. We're here because all these people love our family, love us, and loved Vinny so much. And years later, we're still included, and that means the world to me.
We are a Candlelighters family.
We are a Candlelighters family.
We are a Candlelighters family.
We are a Candlelighters family.